It's just, it's so hot, man. So fucking hot. Oh my god, it's so fucking hot. Fuck. Okay. Oh, need to change filters on your AC? It's because it's up. It's 98 in Austin. It's 98 in Austin. Every single fucking day. Here, well, I'm gonna read you the 7-day forecast. 199, 103, 102, 102, 199, 99. Every single fucking day. Non-stop, no clouds, no rain, nothing. It's too much, man. Like, I can't stand it. Fuck, man. It was not like this last year, too. Like, this is worse to, like, you go outside and, like, everything's dead. Straight up, everything is fucking dead. It's the hottest July on record. I live in Hellscape too. Yeah, it's brutal, man. Fuck, more and more extreme every year, pretty much everywhere. Global warming's a bitch. The problem is, like, people just keep saying global warming, and it's not global warming, it's climate change. And stupid people think that because they can disprove global warming, that climate change isn't happening. It's very annoying. Let's see. What do I need to do? I killed all those guys. I don't want to do that right now. I guess I should probably just keep working on these. Yeah, I'll do that. We had 120 days in France. It's crazy. Yeah, I know. This way means, Chaz, the warming is not consistent everywhere. The climate change is more chaotic in principle. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to... you can't disprove it, though. The globe is, in fact, warming on average. Look, here's my perspective on climate change. As somebody who is not a scientist at all. If you light a cigarette in a room, the room's gonna smell like a cigarette. If you light a cigarette in your car, the car is gonna smell like a cigarette. There are cities that have a lot of pollution. There are some cities in China that being in the city is like smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. They've been wearing masks in some of those cities ever since the 90s, or like the 2000s or something. There is no logical reason that if you had enough of that, it would not cause that to happen on a larger scale. It's just common sense. It's like it's like food coloring. So if you take 1 drop of food coloring and, you know, like the little, you know, like the little thing where like changes things like red or blue, and you take a red drop and you put it in an Olympic pool, it's not going to change the whole pool red. But if you put 50 drops in there, or 100 drops, or 10 bottles of it, it's going to turn the pool red. It's common sense. Like, anybody that doesn't believe that, I think, is a moron. Anyway, let's see what else I need to do. Okay, so... Most people don't have common sense. It's not that they don't have common sense, they actively abandon it because it's not politically convenient for them. That's why. I'm debating what I need to buy. What I should farm out today. Yeah, I think I need to just start working on this. Actually, maybe after I do a little bit of this, I can do Lost Ark, because I've wanted to get some stuff done on there. It's easy for development nations to say, hey, stop that. We did it advanced, to say, fuck them. Now you can't do it? Well, yeah, of course that's what we're going to say. Like, what do you, like, I don't care about the, like, I don't think that, so I find that to be like such a ridiculous assumption that because we polluted the country, we have to allow, or the world, we have to allow other developing countries to pollute the world as well. Yeah, I'm sorry your country sucks, but that's not our problem. But if the earth fucking falls apart, then it's everybody's problem. It's ridiculous that that's even an assumption. I take climate change advocates seriously when they fly to things in private jets, though, but you aren't wrong. But those aren't climate change advocates. Those are like 5 or 6 celebrities. I think that if you're using that, like you're going and you're trying to, like you're already trying to find a rationalization why you don't want to believe something. It's absolutely every single politician. You're insane. It doesn't matter. Like, you understand, like, if you really look at how much, let me get this one, there we go. If you look at how much pollution all of those private jets cause, it is a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent of what, you know, massive industrial industry causes. Is it stupid and hypocritical? Yes, it is. But if you're focusing on that instead of the actual issue, you're just looking for a reason to not talk about the actual issue. It means nothing in the grand scheme of things. It's people that are looking for a reason to either complain about these people or disagree with it. It's not legitimate. Oh, those are rare. Oh, this guy's such a dick sucker, isn't he? Oh, no. Get the fuck out of here. There we go. Players reunionize these polluting styles and the argument, fact that we reduced our footprint. I don't care about anybody else. I don't care what other countries' problems are. If they're polluting the environment, then it's objectively bad. There it is, we got it. It's not our responsibility to care about their problems. Okay, that's done. Alrighty. It's not your problem, it's not theirs. Well, what I'm saying is that I think that there should be, like, I completely disagree with the idea that some countries should be allowed to pollute the environment because they're not developed enough. I think that's outrageous. You gonna do invade them? No, you just sanction the fuck out of them so you can't sell anything there. It'll destroy their economy and they'll have to stop doing it. Most of the countries have shitty economies anyway. It'd be easy to do. Then they'll starve? Not necessarily. And also, like, is it better for people to starve or is it better for the world to be polluted? Those are the two outcomes. The world gets polluted and destroyed irreparably to an extent, or people starve. It's outrageous that that's even a question. We're overpopulated? No, we're not. Elitist Asmongold? Well, it is elitist, but at the end of the day, I'm going to look out for people in my country and people that are that are beneficial and important to me first. Absolutely. Yeah, like I care about the people in my country more than I care about the people in other countries. 100%. And I'll do things that are in their best interest. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, I'm not sorry about that at all. Spiderbark Nightmare subdued. He's not doing anything. Oh, I have to kill these. Not a world citizen, though. I mean, I think they're not. Because if they were, they wouldn't be polluting the world. Okay. What the fuck? Why am I stunned? Okay, we're good. And now I use the thing on him, I'm assuming? Yeah, there we go. American, I care about my home. It's us, but outside, out of mind. Other countries that take care of themselves. Well, absolutely. Yeah, and I understand this might be an upsetting thing for some people. But yeah, I care about the people in my country more than the people in other countries. And the same as people in my community, people that are my friends, people that are my family. It's all concentric circles. It's what makes sense, and that's... I'm not sorry about that. It's not going to change. I think that's the best way to do things, and I think that's what everybody's going to do. And you either do that, or somebody else that does is going to take over your resources at some point in time. You can't be going out around like looking out for other people. They're not going to look out for you. Why create enemies? If somebody's going to make you their enemy because you're not going to go out of your way to help them, then they were going to be your enemy to begin with. They started out as your enemy, and you're just paying for their friendship. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Okay, I've got to go over there. People in your country funded to develop by producing cheap stuff from China. It's not my problem. Yep, not my problem. Yeah, throw car batteries in the ocean, not my problem. Yeah, exactly. Like, you can't just let people pollute shit just because their country isn't doing well. It's ridiculous. It's emotional manipulation. It's in their best interest, though? Well, exactly. And so you have to do things that make it to where it's not in their best interest. That's the whole point. A massive dome over the USA? Yeah, true. True, brother. See your point? America's highest per capita pollution in the world. Oh, I'm sure. I'm just saying, like, if some developing country is doing something that's, like, really damaging to the environment, I don't think you should be able to hand wave that off and say, oh, well, because it's a developing country, it's okay that they do that. I disagree with that entirely. That's what I'm saying. The USA is okay? No, I don't want us to do it either. Like, when did I say it was okay for the US to do it? Why would you think that? USA already did? Too bad. I didn't do that. People that are dead did that. It's not our problem today. I'm not going to live my life according to what happened 150 years ago. If it's raining 2 weeks ago, I'm not going to put on a raincoat today. It's not our fucking problem. A hurly bird gets the worm, that's a fact. Fuck that original sin bullshit. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. They could have done the same thing, they didn't. Thoughts on a PewDiePie drama? What drama was that? Didn't he like make fun of somebody who was like deaf or something like that? Since when do you become so edgy? Bro, what I'm saying is not edgy. Like, this is, if I had to bet, I bet probably 80% of people in the country would probably agree with exactly what I'm saying, if not more. Like, I think that my opinion is like the vast majority opinion. % people in the world? Okay, now what? I have to subdue some guy? Who the fuck is this? He's got 70,000 health. So we made fun of our nails. Mentally ill people tried to twist it, make it look like he was racist. The thing is, like, did PewDiePie mean to, I find it to be unlikely that PewDiePie intentionally made fun of somebody for being black and deaf. Like, it seems unlikely. It seems unlikely that that's what he would do intentionally. Because it would be a bad idea, because if you do that, you'd get banned, or you'd get demonetized, you'd lose sponsors, etc. Because, like, nobody wants a sponsorship like that, right? So, like, I usually assume whenever somebody does something bad, and it's something that was premeditated, right? Like, he didn't do this on a live stream, it was on a video, right? I'm assuming. Because that's important to me. Return to him up here. Fly back over there. Yeah, he did on a video. So, like, what do you think the odds are that, based off of his judgment, he thought that making fun of somebody for being black and deaf was a good idea to put into a video, especially given his prior controversies? I think that there is no shot that he did that on purpose. It's a ballsy move if he did it in a video. Yeah, exactly. So, like, again, like, what I usually do is I expect people to act in their own self-interest. And I think that that is not in his own self-interest at all. It's deliberately destructive. It's bad for him. There's no reason that he would have done that. It was not intentional, it's just a bad moment. Yeah, it's something like, it's like if I was him, like, the problem is, like, everybody escalates things so high on Twitter that, like, if you back down even a little bit, people will think that you're completely wrong and everything that people are criticizing you for was true. So it puts you in a position where, like, you don't want to back down, because if you back down, then it's like everybody thinks that they're right and they're going to do it to you again. But it's like, what would be a good thing to do? If he feels like, after learning that she's deaf, if he feels like that makes her look bad and it puts him in a bad light, it was just a bad joke, then he can just edit that out of the video. Like, YouTube has a feature to do that now. So we could just take that part out of the video and be like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. You know, I can see how this kind of makes me an asshole. I'll take it out of the video, right? I think that's reasonable. He did? Oh, well then who cares? So he literally... Okay. Fell on deaf ears? Well, that's because these people wield power through outrage, and if they're happy, then they're no longer outraged. And if they're not outraged, they're not powerful, and they like being powerful, so they stay outraged. It's common sense. People already edited out the video, made an apology in the video. I wouldn't have made an apology. I would have explained why I thought it was okay, and explained, because, like, an apology for a lot of people makes them think that they're right. Like, I very rarely apologize for anything. Yeah, he did that? Yeah, I mean, that's a smart thing to do. An apology is an admission of guilt, in my opinion. I don't think so at all. I think there's an apology, like you can apologize for something, be like, hey, listen, you know, I'm sorry for making you feel that way. Like, there are a lot of times, like, I'm sorry for something, but I'm not really sorry. You know, I'm just sorry that it made somebody feel that way, and I'm expressing that to them. Yeah, you can apologize, not really mean it. Well, it's not really apologizing and not really mean it. It's that, you know, I'm sorry that my actions had this effect on you. This was not my intention. Does that make sense? Yeah, you can apologize for how you made someone feel, or sorry something happened to them. It's not an admission of guilt. Yeah, exactly. It's not expressing condolences. I feel like now we're getting into, like, you know, the granular definition of an apology. In general, I can say, I have no problem saying, like, I didn't mean to offend you, or I didn't mean to upset you, or something like that. And I don't really treat this, like, I think I would just generally, just, you know, in just common speech, say it's an apology. But in a lot of ways, it's kind of not. So your pussy got hurt from what I said? Well, I think sometimes that's the case, right? Sometimes people do get too mad about stupid stuff and complain about it. I mean, that definitely fucking happens. Okay. Oh, fuck. I didn't do this one. Let's go back over and do that. Well, 5 minutes ago, twist on Asmongold trend again. Well, people twist what I say all the time. I don't really ever worry about whenever people twist what I say because I don't really, the thing is, like, I don't really care what other people think about what I say because I think that I'm right, and so if other people disagree with me, then they're just wrong. And it doesn't matter to me, like, how many people disagree with me or people that get mad at me or anything. I don't like it whenever people get mad or disagree with me or anything like that. No, it's not nice, but it won't stop me from saying what I'm saying or thinking what I think. Like, I would prefer if people didn't do that, but it won't stop me from doing something even if they do. Okay. Capture her memory. We got it. Someone gives you factual evidence that you're wrong, you still think you're right? Well, no. When has there ever been an evidence, when does that ever happen that somebody presented actual factual evidence and I still thought I was right? When has that ever happened? All the fucking time? Like when? Like, happens all the time. Like when? Well, I don't know. It happens all the time. If you watch Asmongold using certain things have changed. Most of the things that my views on have changed on are not, like, they'll be changed if there's actual evidence for it. They don't understand what factual evidence is? Yeah. Factual evidence for them is if a lot of people think you're wrong. There's a lot of people that disagree with you. Echo chamber my opinions become a bit warped and unrealistic. I think everybody's opinions are always going to be a pale imitation of reality. You can never really fully understand something. Like, for example, like, there's a lot of people who think that, you know, they work as a, you know, they work a desk job and they think that somehow it enables them to have a better understanding of the world than somebody who makes videos on the internet. I think they're both just disconnected in different ways. Yeah, and there's a lot of people that complain about echo chambers. You're just mad because other people don't want to hear their dumb opinions. Let's see. What else do I need to do? I should probably go try and farm this at some point. No, this is a badass shield. Holy fuck. That's cool. Deeper in that though, from what you show, you don't even leave your house, you have no social aptitude. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, like, and this is really what I think that a lot of people do, right? Is they'll say that I don't change my opinion, or like I'm delusional or echo chamber or whatever. They'll say this about me, but like whenever you actually ask for examples, they don't have any because they don't exist. It's ultimately people that are hearing something that they don't want to hear, and they're getting mad about it. That's all. Because if that wasn't the case, they would have a bunch of examples of times that I was like wrong about something, and then like I wouldn't admit that I was wrong, and there's like logical evidence that I was, but like this never happens because it doesn't exist. Assumptions that you didn't imply. Yeah, my source is my feelings. Exactly. Saying that your opinions have always been the same. No, I didn't say that. I said that my opinions have not changed, or have not changed, whenever I've seen evidence that I find to be contrary. just think you don't spend enough time in society, get your info from the internet and small echo chamber you live in. Well, like, how much time, like, so what part of society, like, Marky, like, let me ask you a question, like, so what part of society do you think that I should be part of? Like, what would, like, give me the specific subset of 3 actions that I would need to do in order to have what you consider qualifications to talk about social experiences. Like, and what I'm saying is, like, this person is going to clearly give, like, a handful of examples of, you know, talking to people or traveling to, like, a few different countries or whatever. Fan base is an echo chamber of your opinions. Well, everybody's fan base is going to be an echo chamber of their opinions. If you go to a Biden rally, there's going to be a bunch of people, it's an echo chamber for Biden. If you go to a Trump rally, it's going to be an echo chamber for Trump. Of course, that's what's going to happen. Why would people actively go somewhere where they disagree and dislike everything that the person's saying? It logically doesn't even make sense. What am I even doing right now? Okay. What do I need to do? I'm gonna fuck around a little bit. Oh no. I guess I'll go farm this. Why not? There's no other mounts that I, like, really need to farm right now, and I kind of just feel like doing something that's a little bit more brain dead. You know, people go to those events try and disagree to try to construct a well-rounded view. No, I don't think that's the case at all. I think that there are some people that go to the events and just quietly participate and disagree, but most of the people that go to the events, what I've learned is, like, on the internet, most people, like the vast majority of people, do not approach a conversation on the internet with any sort of a case in which they will change their mind. Like, there's nothing that you can tell them that will change their mind. There's nothing you can say that will make them change their mind. They're going into this with their point of view, and they're going to leave it with their point of view. And all of the conversation and everything you say to them is all a waste of time. And I think, like, whenever you really talk about, like, somebody's, like, you know, real life experience, what really you're saying is that how much they interact with, like, their community that's inside of their probably city. Because no one person, like, almost in any circumstance, can have enough experience with talking to people to give any sort of a real judgment on what millions or billions of people think. You have to go based off of assumptions and extrapolation of data. So that's what I'm kind of saying is, like, I do pretty regularly change my opinion on things if I feel like there's evidence to support the different opinion. I guess I'll do this one first since it's right here. When was the last time? One that comes to mind right now is I remember I thought the death penalty was a good thing. And then somebody showed that the death penalty actually cost more money. And I thought that, like, logically you can't make it cost less money, because if you're going to kill somebody, you have to be, like, absolutely certain. So I changed my opinion on that because of the amount of money that it cost. Wait, really? Yeah, it did. I didn't believe that. I thought it was only the execution method that cost a lot of money, and I was like, well, then they're just wasting money. They can just shoot them. But that's apparently not true. It's all the appeals and everything. I didn't know that, but I learned that. What? Why not make it cheaper, less appeals? Because I think that people should have the right to appeal something if they're going to get killed. Pretty simple. Limit the appeal process? No, I disagree with that. I think that, you know, if you're actually going to kill somebody and do something that's like, you can't undo it, you need to be like super, super, super certain. That's what I was saying, is like ethically, like I agreed with the process. So if the process creates that much expenditures, then I think that it's just not worth going through it. Does that make sense? Oh, fuck. So yeah, I disagree. I change my opinion on things regularly if there's a reason to. But I think some people get angry because their bad arguments or their feelings on something don't cause me to change my opinion. Death penalty is fair. Justice system involves 100% infallible. Well, I mean, like, nothing's 100% infallible. It's not a world that we live in. But overall, it's just not really worth the money. What was the thing that people saying you changed your mind on? Well, that was it, right? And so, like, that's the most recent example I can think of. Also, like, I think that you could say that, you know, like some things in Classic WoW and like the way that people played Classic WoW and also New World changed my opinions somewhat on those kinds of games, because I saw how people played those kinds of games and I was like, well, this is, it's like, it's one thing to have an opinion of like, hey, this is how the game should be played, or this is like what should happen. But then whenever you watch what people actually do, that always means more. Did I get it? Oh, I got it. Fuck yeah. That's my last piece of gear out of this whole instance. I'm done here. Big dick. We gaming. True. Did you ever get Mogador sword? No, I haven't yet. If the death penalty costs us money and makes the state win more, would you be okay with the sentence? Well, it depends on what it is. Like, I'm not morally opposed to the death penalty. Like, if somebody's a rapist or like a, you know, like a child molester, no, I'm not morally opposed to the death penalty at all. Absolutely not. Or school shooters? Yeah, true. Why death penalty they contribute back to society through labor or experimentation? Well, I'll say this. I don't really care what happens to them. If the worst possible thing happens to them, I don't care. Like, what I'm saying is, like, their life is null. Like, I don't care about them at all. And anything bad that happens to them, I won't care about. Even if it's horrible. Because I think that they're terrible people, and that's what they deserve. Or if they're wrongly convicted? Oh, well, that's again why they have all the appeals and everything like that. I thought we were talking hypothetical. Yeah. Like, this is like it's a theoretical situation. Like, the reality of it is that's the problem. You see what I'm saying? I was reading something. Okay. I like the different communication games. Yeah, for sure. What are your thoughts on shrimp? I'm not about seafood, man. I'm not about it. Bring back the Coliseum. Have horror people duel to the death. Yeah, true, bro. True. Alright, let's go, let's go, let's go. Any thoughts on felons not being allowed to vote? I've thought about that a lot. I'm not entirely convinced that's fair. Depends on the crime. Yeah, it does, but like, I don't know, like, I don't know. It's not something I have very, like, I have a very tenuous opinion about it. I don't have a very strong opinion where it's like, oh yeah, this is absolutely good or absolutely bad. Like, it's just, I don't know. First mistake, like for example, like somebody robs a bank, or like, you know, they steal a car and, you know, they get a felony for that or something like that. And like, you know, they're 21. Is it fair that they can't vote whenever they're 40 if they've completely reformed their life? Like, I don't think that's fair. So like, I mean, there are clear examples where it's not fair. So it's like, how do you draw the line? Because a lot of things, like, here's what the problem is like, there are a lot of things that produce unfair circumstances, but the alternative to not enforcing it at all is not, it's not possible. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's very true. Like, for example, like police do racially profile people, but you can't get rid of the police. It's very true that, like, you know, police will shoot people and like it's unjustified, right? Yeah, you can't get rid of them. And so like it's a situation where like you have to basically figure out a way to like minimize the negative side effects of certain things because you can't get rid of them entirely. I think it drops on Mythic too, right? It's the same. Is it the same fucking bow? Thank God. I've got 2 chances on this. Don't Reformation be a thing? Let people live the lives they aspire to? Yeah, I think so. And like I have, you know, I have a number of friends who are felons, and so you know, like I know that like the struggles they've had with like trying to get a job and stuff like that, and it's like you get put in this position where like you commit a crime, you do your time, and then you're still a pariah to society for your whole life. It's like, is that fair? Like, if this person is still a threat to society, why are they in society? And if they're not a threat, then why is this over their head for the rest of their life that they can't get away from? You see what I'm saying? That sucks. Yeah, yeah. The victims have to live with it forever, so why don't they? I don't think that's a... I think retribution justice is... I don't think that it's always bad. Like, I don't. I don't think that it's always bad. And I think that setting an example to people, like, for example, like, if you you know, kill somebody who's pregnant, you get charged with double homicide. I think that's good. So yes, I'm okay with some retribution justice, absolutely, because it sets an example, and I think it's just the right thing to do. But as a general rule, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, these are like extreme, like 1% situations. It's a good, it's not a good deterrent either. I do think that, like, the severity of a punishment is a deterrent for people committing a crime. I mean, absolutely it is. For small crimes, yeah, I think that for big crimes it's not. Like, for example, I think if you're talking about, like, you know, like going on like a mass shooting rampage, I think that somebody's gonna do that regardless of what the punishment is. Give me 1 second. Studies show that the only true correlation to drops in crime is prosperity. More jails, more laws doesn't lower crime. Well, like, let me give you a pretty simple example. So, like, let's say for DUIs. If the punishment for being drunk while driving was that the police officer that finds you drunk while driving literally shoots you in the head and kills you right there, that would reduce the amount of people that would drive drunk. Like, no trial, just immediate execution. I can guarantee you that would reduce the amount of people that would drive drunk. Paste if that happened. Well, look, I'm not a fan of that, but, like, I'm using an extreme example. I mean, like, I think that you have to, and that's what I'm saying, right? This is like, it's again a 1% of a 1%. It's not really worth having a conversation about, to be honest with you. No, it wouldn't. The chances of getting caught are completely down to bad luck. I think that's outrageous. Yeah, that's outrageous. A good example. Here's a good example of why I think that's not true, and the fact that people do base their opinions on things off of low probabilities is the fact that people don't want to give their kids vaccines because of there being a low probability that the kid could develop autism. Now, this has clearly been proven to not be true. But even for the people that think that it is true, it's acknowledged as a very low probability. But people still do not engage with it because it has a low probability chance of doing something that they consider bad. Or the lottery. Yeah, the lottery is an even better example. Okay. It's like everybody would use, yeah, like everybody would use Honor Buddy if there was no chance of a punishment. Exactly. It's like, that's why more people, like, I bet there were a lot more people that were botting in Lost Ark whenever there were a bunch of bots in Lost Ark, because the probability of getting in trouble was much lower. All right, give me the crossbow. Dick sucker. Okay, I've got one more chance. Oh, fuck. I honestly think it'll be faster if I just finish the instance. A low probability of vaccine, look at the vax damages chart. See, like, you intentionally, like, I knew that somebody would say that because you didn't listen to what I said. There was never, ever, ever anybody who ever said or drew the correlation between the COVID vaccine giving you autism. So it was implied in what I said that that was not the case. And especially because I talked about it in the context of giving it to your kids. But you couldn't get the vaccine out of your fucking head. So you took what I said and you turned it into something that I didn't say. I never said anything about the COVID vaccine and I wasn't talking about it. I explicitly said, autism because of that. I don't need anything off this boss. I'm just killing him so I can pour it out. This dick boy. Alrighty. Where's the guy? People just think and they don't jump because they don't pay attention? No, it's because they've been conditioned by whichever extremist media they consume to automatically fucking see red the moment that they hear certain words. It's like Pavlovian conditioning. The second that they hear vaccine, they start salivating because they know that vaccines are bad and COVID vaccine bad. It's literal Pavlovian conditioning. It's pathetic. Okay. I'm gonna do this, and then I think I probably have to go after this. I have a very important meeting to go to. Oh my god, did I set it to Mythic? It's gonna spawn me back, isn't it? Oh, thank god, I did. I forgot. Human learning and information acquiring, is that Pavlovian pseudoscientific shit? I don't know. I think in the example that I used, the Pavlovian example works well. But, I mean, whatever. The room's still looking clean? Oh, absolutely. I mean, as I said, I'm going to try to keep the room clean. I don't... The reason why it's clean is because it's annoying for it to be dirty. Like, this isn't like a I'm changing my life and I'm happy now that the room is clean. It was just fucking annoying whenever it was dirty. And it was just becoming such a drain on my time, I couldn't deal with it. With an armor type? I just want all the warrior stuff, that's all. Have your allergies improved? I think that they have. Total misrepresentation, you can be suspicious of the RNA tech without being general. No, see, like, nobody's talking about the RNA tech. Does every vaccine use RNA? I don't think they do. I think RNA vaccines are a certain subset of vaccines, is that right? No? Okay, so again, like, you literally can't get out of your own conditioning to even have a conversation. Like, you literally can't think back your own condition. You can't think past your own conditioning. It's sad. You want to hire a maid for your house? Because honestly, like, I don't know, like, they'll ask me, like, where do you want to put this? You know, there'll be something in the house. And, like, I don't know where I want to put a lot of my stuff. Like, there's just too much stuff in the house because my mom bought so much stuff, and, like, the house is full of stuff. So I need to figure out what I want to do with this stuff first before I hire people to move it around. That's why. So, like, I have no problem hiring a maid service or doing anything like that. It's not like I'm embarrassed about it. I'm not worried about it or anything. It's just that I don't know what I want to do, if you want me to be totally honest. So, like, as soon as I know what to do, I will do it. Like, for example, like in the garage, and there's also like, so like my mom had a lot of stuff, and it's like some of this stuff I can get rid of, right? But there's other stuff that has like sentimental value, other stuff that's like family heirlooms, and like her sister probably needs to come to Austin and help me pick out which one is which. And so there's a lot of things that like what I'm saying is like there are like compounding personal reasons for that. So I understand people are trying to help, but it's not as simple as you might imagine for those reasons. Your sister do everything, yeah. Moving house soon. I was gonna buy a new house, but I ended up, I was too slow, and I would have bought it, but I didn't. Move fast if you want one. I learned that. Yeah, it was only $1 million too. Like I would have bought it like fucking pretty much like after looking at it and everything and all that. I would have bought it like that day. Only $1 million, bro. I live in Austin, Texas. Okay? Austin, Texas. Only $1 million is not a meme. Okay? This is not a disconnected millionaire take or opinion. This is a fucking reality. My dad's house, that is an absolute shithole. Literally the worst house I've ever been in my entire life, is worth $400,000. That's crazy, isn't it? Average house in Austin is $630K. Yeah. And like this house was like a, it had a bunch of land on it. It was like really, really nice. Like, and so like, yeah, like it was absolutely worth the money. I feel like a fool, honestly. But you still have houses worth 40K, 400K. I think the house I'm in now, I don't know how much it's worth, probably like 600. And my dad bought this house for my mom. He bought it for, it was like $40,000, something like that. And like now it's worth more than 10 times that. Isn't that crazy? 30 years ago? Yep, 30 years ago. Very few things 10x in 30 years. That's a lot. 70s or 80s? 1990, he bought it. Never get a house. Hire people to fix and gain more value. Yeah, I already have. I've hired a lot of contractors to do work on the house, etc. Yeah, it's something I will do. Like, I just don't want people to think that I'm, like, afraid or I don't want to solve these problems or whatever. It's just that some of the problems are complex to solve. Like, they're not like a, oh, you know, just buy a new house. They're not like forehead solutions. Like, also, like, for me, the main thing I want to do is I want to get my teeth fixed because it's just fucking annoying. And that's happening this week. And that way I'll be able to go back to stream. Everything should be fine. And, you know, continue doing what I do. And there's also... there's something like really, really big that we're getting to announce soon. And I am I think that on like a personal level, this might be one of the announcements I am most excited for that I've ever done. I don't want to give any hints. No hints. Yeah, it's E-Rob. Just kidding. I don't want to give any hints. Let's go 1 to 10. How excited? If you want me to be honest, like a 9.5 or a 10. Like, yeah, I'm actually very excited. Like, I don't get excited about anything. But yeah, I'm very excited. New dog. Yeah. I didn't get it. That's too bad. What scale you gave OTK? You mean like announcing it? I mean, I was really excited about announcing the org. Like, I was kind of like nervous and worried in a lot of ways whenever I announced the org that, like, you know, things wouldn't go right, or like it's like I didn't know what was gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, I had no idea. It was like, yo, I'm gonna announce this fucking org and we're gonna put ourselves out there and see what happens. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. What's the point in forming the org? It's so we can make content together, so we can basically like consolidate resources, work together to do things that are larger than ourselves. It can be like, I mean, it's really hard to do something like the OTK Games Expo. Like, doing that as an individual is like incredibly hard to do. And so like OTK lets us do stuff like that, and like also loot goblins, just everything else. It's like one of the only other people that I could really say that like really are able to do and put on events that are successful is Ludwig and Cutie. Like, I think they do a great job. Like, Ludwig did that thing, the YouTube thing, Mogul Money, that was a huge W. And Cutie did the streamer awards, etc., right? But like, these are things like you've got to keep in mind, right? I mean, these are things that they worked on for months and months. And Germa did the Germa's Dollhouse thing. That was huge too. These were things they worked on for months and months and months and months and months and months of time, right? So it's like, we can do that while simultaneously not losing time out of our stream, or losing a lot less time out of our stream. So like that's a big reason. This gift seems like something's angering him, something's off. Yeah. It's because S-Fan called him fat in the owner's Discord. I'm excited. Were you whenever Soda joined? I'm actually really happy about Soda being part of the org. Because like he's like one of our long-term friends. Like you've got to keep in mind, like especially like me, Nick, Soda, and S-Fan. Like we've known each other now. Like Nick and Soda, it's been a decade, right? But like I've known these guys now for like over 5 years. Like personally, like off stream, etc. Right? So it's kind of a big deal, and it's really cool. So it's not a brand risk anymore? The truth is we all are. I mean, doing live content is a brand risk. Brand risk GGX. Yeah. You gonna react to the Necrit video about Riot MMO? Yeah, I wanted to save it for whenever I came back. I don't know if I will or not. And like if I would hold, yeah, after this I have to go for sure. So easy to take stuff out of context on live. Well, it's also like you can't edit something out. So like for example, like if you accidentally show porn on the screen, you just edit that out. If somebody sends you a link and it's, you know, a girl sucking a horse's dick, for example, random example, you just edit it out. Problem solved. No issue. And same thing with like any joke that's bad, anything that doesn't go over very well. You don't have to worry about that at all. How do the OTK owners handle egos and disagreements? I think you'd really be surprised how much that's never been an issue. I know like you might think that I'm being crazy and I'm lying, but it's never really been an issue. Like the way that I've always done things whenever I made decisions in like my guild is like if I couldn't convince people that I was right, I wouldn't do it. And like I think pretty much never have we really done something that everybody wasn't pretty much united on. What if it'll be an issue in the future? I'm not gonna write a blank check, man. I don't like writing blank checks. What if something happens in the future? I don't know. Then I'll deal with it in the future. Did you handle a Conan or doing something bad, not friend bad? I think that whenever you're talking about like dealing with people, like you can have like a handful, like it depends on what happened, it depends on what they did, it depends on how they feel, it depends on how people respond, it depends on everything, right? Like what if X, what if Y? I don't do what ifs because what ifs don't exist. Situations and reality exist. I like a good example of this is like back whenever I played Magic the Gathering, I never had enough money to play Constructed because I couldn't afford to buy, you know, like at that time, like, you know, 4 lightning helixes. Like that was a lot of money. I couldn't fucking afford that. I had like 2. I'm not gonna buy 2 more. And like that was like the best, yeah, standard or yeah. I never did Constructed at all or standard or anything because I couldn't afford it. All I would do is draft. And what I learned from drafting is that, like, your ability to respond to and adapt to what happens is actually more important than your ability to build a deck. So the way that I look at everything is like, I just, you know, I go into it. I have like a plan in the back of my mind, right? Like I would usually draft, red, white, black in that order. Usually red, white, red, black sometimes. I remember there was like one set where I would draft white and black because I thought the cards were cool. It was the Ravnica set. But, like, that's what I'm really good at, is I'm very good at drafting, and I actually got enough, like, DCI points to, like, go and compete whenever I was, like, 15. And so I'm not really one to, like, I have a plan, but the plan that I have changes constantly. Orzhov? Yeah, I think it was Orzhov. Rakdos? No, Rakdos was black-red. I remember Rakdos. Boros was red white. Yeah, that was the main. I won my first draft with Boros, with a Boros deck. Golgari. I never liked that. I was never a really big fan. That's the green black one. Jason liked Golgari a lot. They had like that one card. It was like, wasn't it like 2 black mana or something like that? It would like kill creatures or something. I don't remember. It was really, really good. But anyway, yeah, so that I don't really like to write blank checks or say I'm going to do X or Y thing. Anyway, guys, I will see you guys later. I'll probably be on tomorrow. Peace. I gotta go.